lighting's horrible here.
Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to the show. Sorry, we're a little bit late. I was not in the rush to start today because we only got kind of two topics to cover. Maybe we'll see. Maybe there's gonna be more. And then we tried to figure out who the fike this Nick guy was. Apparently, he came across the channel by looking for information on the Ming. Hey, Nick, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me on. It's a pleasure to be here.
Hey, well, you know what? While we have you here, tell us about yourself. How long you been collecting? What you got in your wristwatch collection? Please introduce yourself.
Of course. I'm actually new to collecting. Got into it during COVID. I'm 28 years old and currently attending business school, but started off with some pretty typical and classic buys, and I'm looking to diversify into some more peculiar models. So I started with a Speedy and then got a no date sub as well. And a G-Shock. But I think I've seen, like, I'm a huge fan of classic, symmetrical and understated watches, and I think it's kind of I guess a way to create a board. Now that I checked all the boxes, I'm hoping to start adding some flavor to it, and that's why this particular Ming looked like an interesting one that really checked all the boxes for me. Symmetrical, basic, not necessarily overstated, no fancy name brand, and I'm a huge fan of Ming Tian and want to support micro brands. So looking to dive into a world of small unknown brands, starting with this company. That's what got me fired up when I saw the email sent out this morning.
Well, that's very, very peculiar. 1 second, let's just add Drew here. Drew, welcome to the show. Just sit there and look handsome for a couple of minutes, okay? Love Drew. Yeah. Okay, so you got yourself a sub. Is it a date or no date?
No date sub.
The no date, beautiful. And you got that, is that 40 mil or the new 41?
The new one, the 41 mil.
The new 41, right?
Yeah.
Oh, very nice. You got that retail, or did you get it on the gray market?
I did. I'd been on the wait list, luckily, in a foreign country that I was traveling to, and so I got off within like 8 months, which was great. But honestly, I'm not too happy with the sub. I got it because it's a basic and simple watch, and I was hoping it'd be more understated. And I don't like getting the attention from Rolex, I guess, non-watch collecting people who see it more as like a show-off piece rather than something that someone appreciates for the make and quality of.
Wow, very interesting. You actually had people commenting on the Rolex?
Yeah. Wow. I actually have stopped wearing it. I sent it in for service because it was off like 20 to 30 seconds a day, and I've been wearing my Speedy all summer and couldn't be happier with it. It's unfortunate it's only 30 meters water resistant. I still take it swimming occasionally, but I think overall I appreciate the watch much more than the sub.
And what kind of Speedy you got? Is it the 3861 or the
1863 Sapphire Sandwich 2019? So not the current one.
Sorry, say it again.
Not the current one, just
not
the generation before, 1863.
And what'd you pay for it?
I got it off Chrono 24 for like $4.5 grand, something like that.
Wow, that's good. That's a good buy.
Not bad at all.
Yeah,
that's a really good buy.
And it was basically brand new. It said slightly used, but when it arrived, it was pretty much untouched.
Yeah, well, in the wristwatch terms, it's like if you have one micro scratch somewhere,
Yeah,
that's like the end of the world. You know what? That's like beat to shit.
yeah, it's fair. It's fair.
So I'm not surprised that when you got it, it's brand spanking new, and they said, yeah, it's kind of used. So okay, so you got that, and on what recommendation did you get these watches? Did you watch like a YouTube video that you came across
Oh
that
shit!
convinced you to
I
buy?
think I'm deep into watches, so I've gone through like most of the YouTube content I could come across. Like
Mm-hmm.
Watchfinder was the initial sell for me on the Speedy. I think they did a video comparing the Speedmaster to a Patek Philippe and how like a 60 grand watch compares to like I think it was a 4 or 6 grand watch, and
Yes,
looking at the movement and the level of finishing and I guess I know it's factory done, but just the looks of the polished edges on the bridges, I really fell in love with it and started thinking maybe I'm interested, and then went through basically all the content available on YouTube and a bunch of blogs and learned more about the movement, learned more about the watches in general, and then
yes,
finally hesitantly pulled the trigger on it in the middle of the pandemic, and couldn't have
yes.
been happier with it. It opened the door to the whole watch hobby, which was maybe not the best financial idea, but in terms of life enjoyment, I'm definitely working my way into the watch nerd scene.
Very, very cool. Hey, Bondage and Discipline, dropping by to say hello. Now back to work. Bondage, thank you so much for checking in on the stream. This Harass this, welcome to the show. Mike K, Whole Milk, DP Elgato, welcome to the show, guys. René de la Pons, Drew, to be or not to be? That is the question. Hey Nick, well, you know what? I think you started out with the right watches into the hot. Maybe some will say a little bit boring, a little bit boring, but you know what? Those are bulletproof, bulletproof. And if you got the sub at retail, then you know what? That's you can't go wrong with that. Uh, I've seen worse decisions. Now you're on the precipice on the precipice of making a huge mistake here with this Ming. Cause you know what? I was very similar to you. I actually got the delivery a couple of months ago. Actually, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago. I got my so this would be I guess if they're saying this is the fifth anniversary Ming, then I probably got the would be the fourth anniversary. It would be this one right here. And you know what? It's the same kind of style that they're doing here, right? They're gonna open up the window for 15 minutes. Last year, that window was only 10 minutes, so they're kind of increasing the supply. I do think the modern version, this fifth anniversary version is a lot better, right? Because it's got a little bit more interesting dial, well, maybe a lot more interesting dial, and open case back where you could see the actual movement. Pretty cool, pretty cool movement, but that comes with a hefty price increase. I mean, I think I paid for mine about 2,500.
Tim, I think Ming watches are quite striking.
Yeah, you think so?
I think
Well,
so.
I mean, I
I
think
I quite like them. I would
yeah,
wear one.
yeah, yeah. I mean, look, all things considered, I don't think it's the worst thing. It's not. There are worse watches. So this one's gonna have 100 meters of water resistance, which is quite incredible. But the price, guys, the price. Basically, they increased the price by about 60%. I'm guessing, right? They went from 2,000 Swiss francs up to 3,250 Swiss francs. Is it justified for the new look? Think so. I think so, but I don't know. I don't know. How Nick? How interested are you in pulling the trigger on one of these?
I mean, it's always tough to make a big financial decision in a matter of like 3 days. So I would have appreciated a little more of a heads up. But I think I've been eyeing Ming for a while. I understand they're not necessarily all in house and they don't meet all of the watch aficionados checklist. But I
Mm-hmm.
think in terms of unique design, I've always been impressed. It's so hard in this day and age to come out with something simple
Yes.
but unique and timeless. And I think
Yes.
Ming Tian has done that with the general design. So I
I
always
don't know
wanted.
about timeless, but it's definitely unique, right?
I mean, I would say it gives me the feeling of the movie Tron, and that movie came out in the '80s.
Yes.
So I feel like this is
A stopwatch. Absolutely. I totally.
exactly. I mean, it gives off more modern, not Patek Philippe Calatrava esque classicism or
Mm-hmm.
classic style, but I do think the simplicity and the, I guess, uniqueness of the model and brand are here to stay. And I think this
Yeah.
will be timeless if I were to make a prediction.
Whew. Well, and
I
I
like it.
guess I guess
I,
you were drinking the same Kool-Aid that I was.
Maybe, yeah. I also I did fall for the loom on the dial. I think
The
if
loom.
you look at higher end brands like A. Lange and Zone, I think
Yes.
they're making some pretty crazy loom dials that are obviously
Mm.
selling for significant premium. And I think if you do a comparable here, you could assume that this is one of their more sought after models, at least under the Ming brand.
3707.
I have a feeling like we got a Ming plant here.
That lovely ladies watch. That like imagine that with a nice pink strap. With the pink hue. On your wife's wrist as she's going into the tennis court. Like that.
Yeah.
That's a lovely piece for. That's a lovely. That looks like a lovely ladies piece. Ming for the wife. What do you think, Tim?
I don't think so, man. I don't think so. I've now you're not buying this because you think that there's going to be some kind of investment value in this, right?
Absolutely not.
Wait. Ooh, bondage and decimal. Wait. I'm trying to type out an email and heard something about made me throw up in my mouth. Did someone just mention Alange and Zuna and Ming in the same breath? I know, right?
That was a.
It's dude, this Nick is actually Ming
You,
Tiang. Uh
you're making quite bold statements there, Nick.
yeah, yeah.
I mean, I came here looking to be turned away from this purchase. I'm not looking to
Yeah.
toss three grand in the trash. So I'm
Yeah.
here just talking my mind and hopefully getting some pushback so I can
Yeah.
get some of this hype out of my head. To be honest,
I know, because once you get that hype in your head, that's how you buy this. This is what happened to me. 1 year ago to this time, that's how I'm stuck with the Ming that I have right here in my hand. I bought in on the hype. I was on the live stream just like you are here with me, and everyone was yelling, "Buy, buy, buy!" And then everyone was like, "Which one are you getting? Are you getting the blue one? Are you getting the burgundy one?" And the guy with us was like, "I'm getting both because you can." And it was just absolute fucking madness, Nick. It was madness, I tell you. And I made that mistake, and then the worst part about this purchase that it's just like last year. You buy this, you make a deposit of basically 2,000 US dollars, and you're not gonna see this watch for a year. Okay, they'll sell it to you next year. So I don't know.
Just wait for somebody to make the mistake of purchasing this retail and
You
then
kn-
buy it.
you know what I think would be a much better financial decision, uh, and a watch that's very much comparable to the Ming is this IWC right here, the Mark
Wow,
20.
lovely. The blue
How sick is that, huh? Check this out. What do you think? What do you think about that?
IWC, the pilot's watch.
Yeah, that's the new Mark 20. Now, this time, this is with an in-house IWC movement. So something Schaffenhausen.
Exactly.
Yeah, you were talking about German Allianz, no? Well, why not get a Swiss watch from a German-speaking part of Switzerland? This banger, huh? And
I mean,
price,
I'm all for IWC. I
yeah.
love the Mark 18. I just can't get past the fact that you're paying thousands of dollars and can't see the movement. And that's a huge turnoff for me. That's why I got the Sapphire Sandwich. And maybe that's why I'm not that happy with my no date sub.
But what do you mean? You want to see the movement in the no date sub?
Yeah, definitely. I want to see the movement in any mechanical watch I'm getting. Otherwise,
Yeah.
I could go with quartz and try to find some system to readjust the seconds hand and make it sweeping rather than ticking.
But that's not very Rolex for them
Yeah.
to do.
Well, look, I mean, there is a bit of that. You know, I think open case bags are kind of
I don't think it's very Rolex.
well, it's not Rolex because Rolex knows that there's really not that much to look at on their watch, right? There's really it's not that impressive. Even let's take a look here at this Ming, right? It's open case back, but I mean, there's really nothing to see there. It's a very very basic movement there. It's
Actually,
not
Tim, they did pay for a company to it wasn't hand finishing, but they did pay for a company to finish them for them.
well, I can see there's a little bit of a PVD right on the bridge, right? There's parts that have PVD. There's parts that have like brushing, but I'm guessing this is not none of this is hand finished. It's all full on machine finished parts.
Yeah.
So I mean, I'm not sure, and this is Rolex knows this because Rolex is trying to compete against Patek Philippe. They're trying to compete against the Holy Trinity watches that actually have some beautiful hand finished movements. You know, with Geneva seal and everything. You know, this ain't no Lange, right?
Yeah.
It's why I mean they'll say, "Oh, Ming will," to try and sell this watch. They'll say, "Oh, you know what? We were inspired by the Lumen from Lange and Zun,
Mhm.
and we were trying to make a Lumen type of watch accessible to the general public or something." But you're not getting a Lumen. You're getting you're getting sold a dream, a dream.
So Tim, I think I'm going to be picking this up, and I'll explain why.
Well, Boston Collector. I mean, listen, you could do whatever the fuck you want.
That's true. I got a surprise for you.
Yeah, tell me. Okay, so now we have
Right here.
Nick. Let's see why. Boston Collector.
That's why.
Love the hat. Oh, I have the same one.
You get the AP.
Yeah. Actually, look.
Nice.
Hold on a second. Look at the, I got a brand new acquisition here. See that?
Ooh, yep.
Parmigiani Fleurier. I'm a brand ambassador now. Brand ambassador. Yeah. My mind has been changed. And unfortunately the AP is on top of the shelf and I can't reach it right now.
Yeah. I think I've been following Ming for a couple of years too. I think that Ming does a good job with design. The lugs are cool on it.
Yes.
I think the loom is cool. The dial's cool on this.
Yeah,
I think the big thing, cool. The big reason that I think it's worth it is the 100-meter water resistance and the rubber strap.
That's
and they
something
came out
I
with
was
more
surprised
straps by. Too. They have a black rubber. They have some other options for straps, and this thing will take any of them. So I think that's worth noting as far as, you get a little more out of the watch when you have the extras.
Yes.
But I think the reason I'm going to pick it up is I think that I'm going to try to had my wife wear this actually
Oh.
because it's 38. But they did say the dial's pretty big, so it might wear a little bigger than 38. But I think the lug to lug isn't too bad.
Yes.
But on a rubber strap, there's not that many options that are and kind of have the total package of a cool dial, loom, 100 meters, rubber strap, case back. It kind of checks all the boxes at least.
Yes.
And I think that there's a difference with hype and
see,
you have to be careful. You have to be careful.
See, the new
So I think-
IWC, what I'm really impressed that the new one's got 100 meters of water resistance. I'm not sure about the whether the Mark 18 had 100 meters, but unfortunately, as the new IWC is launched, it doesn't actually have rubber straps to go with it, which is very sad, I think.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, please continue.
Yeah, so I think that what you were kind of alluding to earlier, and something you have to be careful with these micro brands is you have to buy the watch specifically. Don't buy the hype of the brand, because some of them are going to be misses.
Right.
This is not a miss in my opinion.
Well, the problem when you say I'm going to buy this watch, you're going to have to wait for a year. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Making sure.
I actually think that's a good thing, because you're going to have less flippers because they have to put down so much money. So there's going to be less people trying to flip it. I think that there's right now with the economy, there's going to be less people buying it. So I don't think it's going to be, flooding the market with these like it has been in the past, because the price point's higher too. If it was $1,000, I think more people would jump on it. But I think that just because of the overall design and everything, it's going to hold some value.
I guess my question there would be, this is, correct me if I'm wrong, the first Ming model that's not limited at all. They're
no. Mine was not limited either. I think the anniversary editions, they're not limited.
So I guess my worry there when we're talking secondary prices is like, how many of these are going to move in those two?
As many as they can sell within that 15-minute window, they will honor every single order. But it's
will we ever have like a number? Will they be like, there has been?
Yes. For example,
they don't say the total, do they?
After the mine was sold, they announced that it was about 1,000 of each color was sold within that window. So there's going to be probably, I'm expecting at least 2,000 to 3,000 of these will be sold by the end of the thing, depending on how much press this watch gets. And now that it's in the Hodinkee, on the monochrome, it's quite a lot of people are going to buy it. Paul M, by the way, guys, Paul M, member for 13 months as a staff writer. Mr. GMT has a 37 Ming for sale. Hey, I think Mr. GMT has the exact same one as mine, but in blue. So, hey, if you want one, if you want the Ming, maybe contact Mr. GMT. I think he's selling.
Yeah, I just think the extras on this are going to make it more popular.
Yes,
I think that it could be ladies or men's is another plus for it, and I think it's got enough with the loom on the dial that it's has a little more appeal.
Hey, you know what?
Some of theirs have been misses lately, I think. For the Mings.
Hey, you know what? For mine, it says 100 meters water resistance, but it's not a screw down crown, unfortunately. So this one looks like it's going to be a screw down crown, but is it? Let me just see here. Is it a screw down?
Well, it didn't say screw down. I looked for it too.
It doesn't say specification. Well, let's see here. Specification, water resistance. No, they're not saying movement. Oh, Salita. Oh, wait a minute. What?
Yeah, it's Swiss made.
So it's Salita with some finishing there. Yeah. Oh, yeah. The skeletonized bridges, contrast with rhodium circular brushing. Gotcha.
So PG is saying Tim has triple gasket, the one you have.
Triple gasket. The one I have has a triple gasket. Gotcha.
So both of them probably have that.
Gotcha.
I actually brought
Mhm.
a different micro brand,
Mhm.
and micro brands have been popular because of the limited release thing.
Yes.
And secondary market value. You look on Chrono24, and you're like, oh, I can make $500 on this, $800 watch. And you have to be very careful which ones you buy, because some of them will just sit there, and others are worth it. So you have to be really careful not to buy the hype of the brand.
Yes.
And say, oh, every watch is going above retail.
Well, when I was buying my Ming, we were so high on FOMO, right? That we thought that this watch is gonna go for 10,000 on the gray market.
Oh yeah.
We were fucking delusional.
Well, the Messina Lab release that they did was so limited that they're going like 13, and it was like a $1,700 watch. So, pretty nice return.
Are they actually selling for that much? The Messina, and also Messina has been pumping stuff out as well.
Right, but
there's
that
just
was
so many
limited.
of these micro
it was all
brands. It's
up.
crazy.
Yeah. So I actually bought some Unimatic. Are you familiar with them?
No.
From Italy.
Wait.
Unimatic.
I think so.
The smooth bezel.
Oh, so yeah. I know exactly what you're talking. They have a Minions. They have Minions watch. The yellow.
Yeah, they have a Minion. They have a SpongeBob watch.
Oh, that's really.
So it comes in this cool case.
A Pelican case.
Pelican case, yeah. And this is the New Zealand one for all the New Zealand people, but it's actually a pretty cool watch. So it comes with this. It's a chrono.
They have a chronograph.
Yeah.
Oh man, I fucking hate that bezel. Look at that. That's just
the bezel.
Yeah, there's nothing on it. Is that a rotating bezel?
Yep. Yeah, so it rotates.
Both ways? Or it's unidirectional?
Unidirectional.
Unidirectional.
But this is let me see. I think it's 150.
No, that brand
300
is
meter,
lot like
300 meter.
Uh-huh.
And it's a chronograph.
Screw down pushers on the chronograph?
Yep. Yeah, screw down. And
nice.
they're kind of cool watches.
It's kind of Bauhaus.
Limited, and it's got the southern constellations on the back for New Zealand. It was a collaboration. They do a lot of collaborations.
Yes.
And then it comes with an extra.
That's pretty cool.
Comes with an extra leather strap too, so you get a rubber and a leather with them. But it was $750. It wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't $4,000.
And at $700, you can give this as a gift.
Yeah.
For somebody, it wears pretty good.
Yeah,
but
4,000, dude. We are in Omega territory. Well,
what's interesting is, you're saying that we just had the Ranger come out, right? Would you rather have this than the Ranger? I mean, there's a lot to this compared to a simple watch. The Ranger, the IWC are pretty simple, right? At least this has something. If you're going to have a few watches at that price range, you might want to get something a little different,
That would definitely be a fifth watch for me. That'd be
right. Depends on where you're at with your collection,
In my collection,
yeah.
I have several of my my wanted pieces. That would definitely be an option, a good option. But a Ming, I think the Mings definitely, in my opinion, are a great watch. They're very fashionable, and again with the glow, a nice pink,
Yeah. So you're saying Ming is a great watch, but Ming is the brand, right? So you like the overall design, like the lugs and stuff?
So yes.
Okay. So there's definitely some misses for Ming, I would say. And Tim thinks his is a miss, kind of, right?
I think...
Or do you like?
Yeah, I think for what they're trying to do, they made way too many of these.
Yeah.
That's something I see my wife buying though, like in like a boutique, like across like or at least one of the things like she would select. Like that is
Right.
something. Yeah, that's appeals to would appeal to a lot of ladies, like and especially in the right colors, and for especially it being a proper movement watch, it'd be a nice choice for women. Yeah, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah. So I mean, that's what I'm saying. You just have to be careful that you're buying the
Yes.
watch and not the brand, because Ming came out with that other watch recently that was like 13K. Tim,
Ooh,
remember
that
that
was
release?
expensive.
It was expensive, and it had the similar dial to this one.
Yes.
It had the squares though,
They should
right?
Yeah.
they
And
should make
everybody's like, "Oh, it's great."
they should make a heart at the 12 position.
You know.
Make the
Let's
loom
see.
pink, nice pink strap, and
Uh,
case in rose gold,
archive.
buckle in rose gold. That would be
You're talking about this one, right? The mosaic. The
Yeah,
mosaic.
Mosaic,
Yeah.
The
and that was
movement on
cool
that
when it
watch,
came out, but
loved it.
13. Yeah.
Sorry. Say it again.
The movement there is what you were paying for, though, more so than the sapphire on the dial.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
I think that's definitely something you lose here with the price decrease. I'm curious if you were to compare this watch to another dial-heavy watch like a Grand Seiko, Snowflake, or Cherry Blossom. What would your opinions be?
Well, sorry. Can you repeat it?
Like I see Grand Seiko with their
Yes.
Snowflake and Cherry Blossom dials. They're
Mm-hmm.
like uh, the center of the show is the dial. The movement's nothing special.
Yes.
Pointed spring drive is its own beast, but in terms of looks and quality finishing, I would put that in a similar realm to this Solita modified movement in terms
Yeah.
of quality of movement from a case back perspective. And the dials on those watches are pretty standout. And I'm curious because this is definitely a dial focused watch as well. Um,
Yeah.
how would you compare the two if you were trying to look at those and make a decision between them?
Interesting.
Well, yeah, I mean, the way I look at them is I look at each watch individually, and then you do the pros and cons of that watch, because it's really tough to say across the board on something like, something like a Grand Seiko. You've got the spring drive ones, you've got the,
The
quartz ones, you've
automatic.
got the automatic. They're all different price points. There's a lot of dials that are pink. There's a lot of dials that are the white,
Also, Seiko is like a real
so
brand. Grand
it's a real
Seiko,
brand. Yeah.
That's a established, well-known brand. Whereas Ming, it's really very, very niche, right? We don't know
Mm,
what the future of this brand holds. It seems like they're like when I look at Seiko, right? It's like they have done a lot of research, right? They're making their own movements. Whereas, what is this? This is, they're buying like what this one has a Schwartz Etienne movement, right? So they're
mhm,
kind of it's just two brands have completely different like purposes, right? This one is just
yeah.
trying to sell fun watches for people who maybe have had everything, and Seiko or Grand Seiko making just extraordinarily accurate watches for decades. Um, just completely two different purposes in life, I guess. And when Grand Seiko or Seiko makes a dial variant, that's just already that's backed by their in-house movement that's tested like no other movement is tested in the world, I think. So
Yeah.
it's completely different reason, right?
Right.
Yeah, I'm guessing Boston
Yeah.
Collector, you want to get that watch for your wife because you want something different, I guess, right? Grand
Well, I
Seiko
want
would be
something
cool.
she can wear,
Yeah.
and at 100 meters, a rubber strap,
Mm.
nice loom. You could wear this, casually or out or on vacation or anywhere. It's you know a good
know what?
summer watch with the white strap. You could put the black strap on in the wintertime.
Ming.
It just has a lot of the boxes checked. But overall, you
You know
know,
what?
at the end of the day, like it's whatever you've got for a collection too. If this is your second or third watch, you're not going to like this. It's not for that. It's I want to get a Ming,
Yeah.
and out of the Mings, this is a decent watch, I'd say. Right? I mean, out of the ones
Is
that have come
that
out, it's
I think it will be the most easy to get that I don't know if that even means anything out of Ming's,
mhm,
right? Like if he's trying to get it as his third watch, right?
yeah,
I mean, you're putting down 2,000. You're not gonna have a watch for a year.
yeah.
Is that a commitment that you're ready to make? I don't know. I mean, I think there's other watches for that you could buy right now for 4,000 that are much better. And by
Yeah.
the way, so much has changed in that 1 year since I was waiting for my Ming. It's a completely different world today than a year ago when I placed the 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 order for my Ming. Like
Mhm,
also your taste might change, right? I
yeah.
mean, I'm guessing for Boston Collector it doesn't really matter to you, but man, for
No, it
Nick,
does. I mean, every watch
mm,
is a significant purchase,
mm,
and I actually one of the top things is this going to retain value? I don't want it to go down to $1,000 as soon as I buy
yeah,
it, you know.
yeah,
And I think that this one being a cool brand that has been around for 5 years now, they
yes,
have some misses. So I've actually been kind of off of Ming a little bit. I've been
mm,
disappointed with their last releases.
yes.
13K for that other watch. The one that you got is just like feels a little vanilla for
That
what
is,
they've done.
yeah.
You
This is
know,
just a beater, the mass produced. This is a
right?
mass produced.
Yeah,
This is like this is where they cashed in, right? They make
yeah.
they make a limited edition of 10 pieces,
So
make them super expensive, and then when they make a cheapie, they still charge that full whack, right? Like
yeah,
my Ming is no better than that Unimatic that you're holding.
right.
Quality build, quality wise,
Yeah.
but they're
So this is a
charging
dive
for the
watch.
brand.
So this is 146 of 200.
Mm,
Okay. So they're actually limited.
hmm,
They do a quick release, and this comes with two straps, and this was 800. And you get a fun watch for
yeah,
that price point. It's like a Seiko.
yeah, yeah,
But when you're getting to the 3,000 again, what 2,000 for Ming, that'd be a little bit better. But you're not getting just like a standard dress watch. You're getting something you can wear. Like you wouldn't wear yours at the pool necessarily, just because of the vibe of what it is.
Hey, you
It's
know what?
almost like a dress watch.
I
But
don't think I would even wear this one at all. The strap just seems to be way too delicate
right,
wearing. It's almost like I'm afraid and you know what? What I don't like the most about this one is these curved lugs. It's almost like they found a way to sell you more straps, right? With Ming,
yeah,
this is the part of their big kind of how they're gonna cash in is their strap market, right? You're
Mm.
gonna have to
yeah,
buy straps from them. And
yeah.
these straps, man, three
What
hundred
are, what
dollars.
what are the
Right.
variety of colors?
Well, they get the
Colors,
black
yeah,
one
there's
there with the
colors.
blue. I think if you go up to the black with the blue,
Yeah.
that's the one I'd get too, to add to this watch, because you can wear it in the winter. It's got the blue inside
Oh,
for
and it's
for my
rubber.
wife, and it's rubber. It's Jean Rousseau is a good brand too for
Yeah,
straps. That's what
yeah.
Theo and Harris I think sell
Mm-hmm.
as well. Um, so it's I mean it's $300. It's
Yeah, I
not
would buy this strap, but it's
nothing,
three
but
hundred
yeah,
dollars. God
yeah,
damn!
$300.
yeah,
What the f? $300.
mhm,
That is a straight up scam. That
That's
says $2. Can we stop talking about Ming? It's $50,
yeah,
and we're never gonna. Actually, you know what? $100, and I'm not gonna talk about Ming for a month. Okay,
yeah.
just
Just I mean, the word of caution is don't buy it to get rich, because you're
Yes.
not going to with these micro brands.
Yeah.
And make sure that when you buy that watch, even if it's a quick release, that you're like, when am I going to wear this? What am I buying it for? If I need to get rid of this, what's it going to look like? Because if it's $700, $1,000, and you can give it as a gift to somebody, that's
Yeah.
one thing. But if it's this price, I mean, you're going to wear it. You know.
You know
gotta
what
be
another
able to wear that
danger
thing.
is that it's a non-refundable deposit. So you can put
Right.
down that $1,000, and you know what happens? Like, I was worried I'm not even gonna get the email from these guys. Like, and you if you and they, when they email you, you got like 2 weeks to reply to the email. You could be on a
Right.
freaking vacation, get the email, forget, like, not check it, and then bam, 2 weeks passed. Guess what? Non-refundable deposit. You get fiked.
Yeah.
You don't get the watch. You don't get your deposit back. Yeah, maybe
Yeah.
you can make an appeal, but two
The
weeks.
only reason I'm hesitating on this is I'm gonna double check to make sure my wife will actually wear it.
hmm
You
hmm
know, but at 38 millimeters, it might be too big. I got to see that because it's supposed to wear big. They said because the dial goes all the way to the edge,
Yeah.
so you got to. It's hard when you don't try on these watches. But I think the other thing is with the market coming down,
hmm
$3,200 is going to buy you a lot. Like
Yes. You
with
can
the
get,
with
dude,
the
are you insane? You can get from Logan Hall is selling a Speedmaster and a Seamaster for that money. He's
yeah.
selling like 3,500. You can buy a Speedy 1861 right now. I
You
mean,
can
I
buy a
think
vintage Rolex that's going to
you can buy a
be
vintage
100
Rolex.
meters.
You
You know,
you could get so much for 4,000. 4,000. And by the way,
yeah.
it's not, it's you know that Corona. Wait. Let's go Hodinky. Is it
I have
Hodinky?
two
Yeah, you
Coronas,
know,
by
you
the
have
way.
two Coronas. You know these.
Yeah,
How much
those
are these? These tiny
those
ones.
aren't too much. They're
They're
not
not
too much. They're
waterproof
like
though,
a
right?
little over 1,000.
Mike K, thank you so much for the pony. 1 pound, thank you. Really
Yeah.
appreciate Tim. Tim isn't a real watch enthusiast. For example, PG. Tim likes watches that only retain its value. Well, look, I
I think
mean,
that's a consideration for anyone.
I
I
think
I
I mean,
I mean,
wait, are you wait,
I'm gonna
hold on. Is he saying that true watch enthusiasts only buy watches that tank in value? No, PG.
yeah. I hate that. I hate
No,
that. That's
listen,
dumb.
listen. PG was very, very keen. He bought an incredible fucking watch, a Code 1159. But
Hmm.
after it lost basically all its second, he got it on the gray market for
Right.
19,000. That's nothing with two
Right.
straps,
Right.
dude. That is fucking amazing. I would buy that for 19,000 if I had 19,000. Unfortunately, see, Steve, unlike you and a lot of people, I can't just go around and spend money that I don't have on stuff that loses value. I have to be very
Yeah.
careful, man.
Well, that's the thing with these micro brands too. You could buy three, four, five of them, and only like two of them,
Mm,
and you've spent seven k before you
yeah.
blink an eye, and you're like, I could have bought you know an old Polar Explorer for 7k,
Yes.
but it
Right.
seems like, oh, 1,000 here, 1,000 there. Oh,
You know
but
what's a
it adds
banger
up,
of
and
a
then you get
watch?
it a year later.
You know what's a banger of a watch is this right here. I am actually in love. I'm in love with this Grand
I think
Seiko.
you get the spring drive one though, Tim.
No. Spring Drive, too much. I think it's too much hassle personally. I I'm not a fan of the Spring Drive. I like how it works, but eh, I'm not very concerned whether it's full on quartz or what. But this is a 40 mil, 46 lug to lug. It's only 10.7 millimeters thick. See, when you're getting that spring drive, you, you know, it's not going to be as thin. It's not going to be as small, right? And it's not going to be as accurate. So there's actually a lot of
What's the
benefits.
water
And
resistance on that?
I think it's 100
The
meters.
screw
I'm
down
pretty sure. Yeah, 10 bar.
doesn't say there.
100
10
meters.
bar. Okay.
Yeah, 100 meters.
Bracelet.
And I mean, if you're buying it for your wife, I mean, yeah, you get it on a bracelet. You can get
Do they have
straps.
straps? Yeah.
Actually, you know
They have a
what?
rubber strap though.
Yeah, Grand Seiko, they're going into like a strap business as well. So they're gonna have a lot of straps. But or you can get like the what's it called?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's a contender too, right?
Mm.
If you can get
Oh, here we go. Straps and
a nice
clasps. Look at
style.
this. I got a full shop here.
They have rubber though. That's the question. Because I'm
Uh,
looking specifically for rubber. No.
Plaid shirts. I'm pretty sure you can get it on the gray market. And that's the thing, right? Like
Yeah.
that's why I'm not a huge fan of Ming. That's why that when I saw that curved lug, it was just like, oh, they can't. You know what? Like
Yeah.
it's almost like that, like Richard Mille, right? Like or
Yeah.
FP Join. If someone else tries to service the movement or opens the case, that's why they have those special screws that only they can use, right? They don't want you going out because
Yeah.
they have a business plan. Their business plan is to sell a watch and then cash in on then servicing the watch, replacing the bracelets, right? That's
Yeah.
why I think Rolex started putting their spring bars at a really weird place, so that you can't just put it on a leather strap as easily as that you used to be able to do. Um, you have to go to like
Yeah.
a specialist or something. It's really tough now.
Yeah.
Brian, Tim, is the trip to Australia still on and happening with Cam and Sean and you? Well, no, Cam is out. Cam, unfortunately, he fucked up. He fucked up everything, everything that he ever started. He just ruined it all. Oof. There's nothing I can do about that. But I am going. I am going. 20th, August 20th is my flight. So less than a month now. Time is flying. And David D loses value is relative term. If I pay 10,000 for a watch when I traded it in 5 years later for 7.5, it cost me 2,500 to enjoy it for 5 years. Okay.
hmm
Is there no value in that enjoyment? Good point.
Yeah,
Okay.
but that cost also could have been put towards another watch that you made that money on too for that amount of time. So you have to really love the watch either way,
Mm-hmm.
you know. But it doesn't,
I mean, in
apples to
ideal
apples, you're
world,
using that money if you
in
have
ideal
unlimited,
world,
then it
right?
doesn't
People
matter.
who buy a watch that not just retains its value but goes up in value, they get to wear it, enjoy it, and then sell it and make money. I mean, that's the fucking dream, right? But
That's what I'm doing.
right, but you have to really enjoy those watch and be able to get those watches. It's not so easy
Yeah.
to be able to get a Royal Oak 15510 at retail, then enjoy it, and then
Yeah.
be able to sell it, and make money on it.
I think too, Tim, there's a difference between laziness
Uh-huh.
and settling and people really enjoying other brands.
Mm-hmm.
Like real watch collectors, if you say, oh, it's too hard to get a Rolex at retail and I'm going to buy this Omega,
Mm-hmm.
and you don't really love the Omega, you'd rather have the Rolex. Are you just being lazy? Or are you worth, or if you really want the watch, put in the work for it and
Mm-hmm.
save up for it, instead of settling on a Tudor for a Rolex. I think too many people make that mistake of saying, oh, I'll buy this one because it's too hard to get into a Rolex. But you just have to put in the work if you want it. I mean, you'll get a Rolex at retail if you put in the work. It's not rocket science. You just have to put the effort in. And some people couldn't be bothered. They get kind of lazy with it. They settle for stuff, and then they're kind of
Yes.
like, oh, I don't like my watches. It's the same. It's the same as buying a micro brand. Everybody's like, oh, don't buy a Ming. They're garbage. But if
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
if somebody buys a Longines or like a IWC and they didn't really want that, they wanted a Blanc Pawn, and they buy
Mm-hmm.
an IWC instead, it's the same thing. You're kind of taking that money and wasting it if you're not buying something you love. So just do the work and figure out, you know, what you want and then plan for it.
Right. Exactly. If you
I'm
settle
on secondary market, would you be able to sell a Ming? Like Tim, you're
Mhm.
clearly not happy with yours, but why would you not get rid of it? I bet it's still the very least selling for what you paid
Mhm.
for it.
Yeah, well, would be tough. It
Not with
would
the
be
fees
tough.
and stuff. It's going to be close.
Mhm.
Fair,
I mean,
fair.
I think, yeah. I mean, obviously you'll get money out of this as soon as you sell it. You'll get something back.
Mhm.
But the bigger point is, you know, you can waste a lot of money that way too. Just buying stuff missing, sell it for less, move on.
Mhm.
But the money's tied up
Everyone
for,
makes
like Tim's
mistakes, though.
saying.
You
Yeah,
have to
you're
take
going to
some
make
risks
mistakes.
to
Yeah.
appreciate new places and pieces. Tim,
Yeah.
I'm also curious. Did you ever take the straps off of your Ming watch? I was looking at an article on curved lug straps, and it showed a
Mhm.
picture of. I believe it's one of the Mings. It's not the anniversary, I don't think, but it shows that they have two spring bar holes, one for curved lugs and one for straight
Yeah.
lugs, so they can accommodate both. And then you don't have to necessarily go through Ming to get curved spring bar straps. There's at least Watch Gecko and one or two other companies that do it for much cheaper, like $30-$40 strap.
Yeah, but you know, it's
You want the
hassle.
real
It's
thing
hassle.
if
They
you're going to do
definitely
that.
made
Yeah.
it hard. And I'm not sure that mine has two holes. I'm pretty sure mine just has one. Yeah, I don't think so. I know. Yeah, some have two holes. Oh, see, Orlando Stanley. What was the end there? Something something.
Carmichael. Orlando
Carmichael.
Stanley.
It's true, except you can eventually
Part of the
find a buyer
rebranding.
for Longines or Blank Pond or
Mhm.
the IWC. Yeah, I don't think we can sell this thing. Hey, OC. Hey, what do you think? What do you think? Are you excited for for the new Ming?
Not in the least.
Why not? Why not, man? Oh, this is really
I
cool.
wanted to join the panel to hear how great the Ming was, though, so I won't rain on the parade.
It's okay. It's okay. Hey, you know what? This is a really cool website. Apparently, here you can get a fully customizable strap from the beginning to end. And I can't find the rubber. Where is the rubber?
Yeah.
Material. Huh.
So OC, do you have any micro brands that you've bought before?
I
Or do you
don't.
just skip them?
I don't.
Okay.
You know, OC only buys hype pieces. Only hype pieces from established brands.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. This is rubber.
Why don't you?
I mean, none of them really speak to me. The ones that in which I'm interested are like Parmigiani or Chopik
Mhm.
or
Mhm.
Maurice Grossman. So not like
Mhm.
these little tiny starter
Right.
Kickstarter brands, like
Kickstarter.
Yeah.
Kickstarter brand, like a GoFundMe brand.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. So this
So
is
you'd
the
rather establish beater as well, or if
I
you're
would
going to buy somebody something, like you'd rather buy them a G-Shock or a Seiko type of thing. Is that what you're saying?
anything like, for example, today I'm wearing the Tissot PRX.
Yeah.
Ooh, damn. Flexing on the
Right.
AP owners.
Right.
So
No, Lucky Bastard, that's not his real name. That's just a joke he's doing. Because all the wristwatch YouTubers changed their names to like a different
Well,
So
more
do you
more
do that,
it's
OC? Do you do that for because of the resale value? Plus, you just know the brands are going to be around, or you want the history, or
No, it's just I already have too many watches, and so
Okay.
in order to buy additional watches, they really have to check a lot of boxes
Right.
at this point.
Okay.
Tim, correct me if I'm wrong, but even your collection is beyond your wildest dreams at this point, right?
It's
You know,
beyond my wildest imagination.
to add something is
Yeah.
it's like having 5 desserts in front of you, and you're like, hey, should we
I
have
might
a
lose shit. You know what? Like
dessert?
when the roommate took the Pepsi out of the box, I didn't realize she took it for a couple of weeks. It's very easy for me to misplace things, so I have to be very careful. Daniel Katz, $2.79. Tim, I'll trade my brother for one of yours. Not even sure what that means. Oh, maybe he's talking about the Ming. No. Tin Man, Tim, do you wish you would have got the blue instead of the purple? No. I like that it's different. The blue is so common, so pedestrian. I'm not interested in the blue. Timmy, get me that. Get this straight. You waited a year after giving Ming 50. What happened? What's going on? You okay? Oh, I made the roommate angry. Hey, it's okay. It's okay. I made you angry on purpose because you were having too much fun.
You mentioned the
She's
Pepsi.
not doing anything, and how can she be angry? It's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Perks better lose.
You mentioned the Pepsi. Is that what set her off?
No. She's just. I got some t-shirts. Some t-shirts for the hot weather.
You told me to
Yeah.
my angry, so I told you that makes me angry.
Okay. Just okay. I just calm down. Just calm down. Be cool.
Be
Be cool. What are you doing?
I cannot be cool.
Be cool. Be cool.
I cannot be cool.
Just relax.
I keep telling you why am I angry?
Why are you lurking?
Oh, because
I set up the computer for you. You wanted the computer. I set it up for you.
the Microsoft is not working.
Oh my god! I'll get you Microsoft. Okay, I'll get you Microsoft. Now she wants she wanted the computer. I set up the computer for her. Now she wants the Microsoft Word. I mean, she's gonna use it once and that's it.
Oshin can hook you up with the Microsoft license.
The license key. He'll send me the license key. Yeah.
He'll send you the license key. Yeah.
Oh. Look, I'll download you the 2010. Okay. I'll download the Microsoft 2010.
Tim, I think it's interesting that a lot of people in the chat are saying, I'm glad that I, did something before it all got hyped, and it was all about value retention and making money and flippers and everything else. And I think that just because people want value retention doesn't mean that they don't care about what they're putting on their wrist.
Yeah.
I think that there's people though that are buying stuff because of the value retention and they don't like their collection. Like Green Room bought that OP and he's like, oh, I hate this thing, right? He bought it because it's a Rolex he's trying to get in and he doesn't like it. Actually it wasn't even in, that was the problem. But I think that people have to be careful of that too, right? That's a pitfall that everybody gets into is, you just have to buy what you like, but your tastes are going to change. So you have to think about, when I get rid of this watch, how am I going to do that? And that's the problem with the Ming is, I don't know if you saw Federico, he said, don't call him if you have a Ming because he's not going to take it.
He's not going to be buying it.
Dealers aren't going to take it. So you have to get rid of it yourself.
It's a Ponzi scheme. It's a Ponzi scheme.
Right?
It's you're giving these deposits and you're funding their development and production interest free.
Right.
Interest free.
And listen, I'm sure it's a great brand and the guys who run the company are super ethical. But let's just say there's one crook there, like the CFO, and he decides to make off with $7 or $8 million and move to the Bahamas. It's just a coincidence that Cam happens to be from the Bahamas. No correlation.
No correlation.
No correlation. But he makes off, and now all of a sudden, everyone is stuck.
Yep.
The company goes bankrupt, and everybody loses their deposits. It's not likely, but the point is, this is how these kinds of scams are run all the time, intentionally or unintentionally. One guy raids the coffers, takes off, and
Yes.
you guys are fucked.
Right.
Ooh.
Yeah,
It can happen with Choppick and Parmigiani and any other brand too. I'm just saying, but
yeah.
you know, you're giving $1,000 deposit maybe to
Right.
Choppick, not
Mm.
50% deposit.
Yeah. Right. I'm wondering, OC, if it's a good thing in a way, because it's going to cut down on the flippers and it's going to cut down on, you know, people who don't really want the watch buying it. I don't know if they did it because of that too. I know obviously there's the benefit of being able to produce the watch on other people's money and then selling it to them. But I wonder if part of it is going to help that problem on some level.
I think part of the reason is that they want to show that the watches are limited but selling out.
Yeah.
You know, so that helps fuel the hype around the brand.
Yeah.
The fact that, you know, I don't know how many are being made, and then it's sold out as soon as we made the deposits available.
Well, they have no waste, right? As a brand, they make the number of watches that they sell, right? So it helps them as a small brand to be efficient. Yeah. It makes sense from their standpoint, but it doesn't help the collector as much.
Yeah, it doesn't deter the casual flipper, right, Tim?
No.
because let's be honest. A lot of people bought it and put deposits because I don't know how much the watch sells for, $4,000 or whatever.
Right.
You put down a $2,000 deposit. You buy the watch for another $2,000, and maybe it's worth $7,000. So,
right.
I'm sure there's an element of people who do it just for that.
I think this level of money is, you have to really take that into consideration, you know, because you could lose a lot on it. They might be $1,000 when you go to sell it, because you have to sell to an individual, because the dealers aren't going to take these.
Yeah.
They're not gonna,
yeah, you have to go to maybe some kind of Ming groups.
Chrono 24,
they'll be groups, or
and if you're not
Chrono
one of the
24.
first ones, they'll come out of the gate hot.
Yeah.
But they're going to flood the market over a year. And then if you didn't sell it in the first batch, you know,
let's
there's
see how many
500 on Chrono 24.
Yeah, I think
right.
Yeah.
You know, I'm really curious to see once these are sold out, what kind of numbers they're gonna show, because last time they announced how many they sold. So I'm thinking this year they're probably gonna say like, oh, we sold this many, right? Got to do it.
How many did they make the last time? The last watch they offered?
Well, the last time they did something like this, the window, right? The window last year was actually only 10 minutes. Now it's 15. Next year it's gonna be 20, and then 40.
How many watches were sold? A few hundred or 1,000?
They sold 2,000 actually, about 1,000 in each color. Yeah, it's crazy, right?
So I have a story for you guys. I bought a Corona, the pink dial one, and I did it on my Apple Pay, so it was pretty quick. So I got it done in the first 3 minutes, say, right? They started coming out in June, so I got mine in July. I put it on the market through consignment through a gray market dealer.
Okay.
I bought it for $1,700. I sold it. They sold it for $4,000.
Wow.
And I made $5,000.
Wow.
They sold it for $5,000. I made $3,500.
Holy shit.
But I didn't make that. I made $1,800. But I was one of the first ones.
Whoa! Wait a minute. The watch sold for $5,000 and they took 15%.
Yeah. No, $1,500.
1,500.
I made $3,500. Yeah, I made $3,500.
Wait a minute, 1,500. 1,500 is 30%.
What kind of consignment is this?
Yeah, they took 30%.
Whoa, that is outrageous.
Who did you consign with?
But this is what I did when they were talking with me. They didn't tell me what price they were going to sell for. I said, what will you give me for this? I was thinking $3,500, and they were going to sell it for $4,000. They put it on for $5,000. I don't know what I'm assuming they sold it for $5,000. But I was lucky because I was early. So that was my point, is you can flip it but you can also get stuck with it. And there's been one on the same website at less, 4,500. They have one, and it's been on since January and hasn't sold. So that's kind of the way it goes with these. Is people want it at the beginning, but it starts flooding the market when it's these long.
The longer you wait, like you have to flip it the day it comes
right
out.
Away.
Boom, right away. Because
I'm not saying to do
it,
that though.
done.
That's you got to make a decision right away on the watch. Do you want to keep it, or do you want to, because you're not going to get much done?
Yeah, I think that the thing that I'm struggling with is if it's sold at 5,000 with a 30% commission fee, you could have sold it at 4,200 with a 5% commission fee and made out better, you know.
But would it have sold, right?
Yeah, well, if the watch sells at 5,000, why wouldn't it sell at 4,200?
Right. Well, through a dealer. No, through the dealer, because the dealer, I know the dealer got a lot, but I got 3,500. I was happy with that, right? But he might have put it in a trade, right? It might have been like, oh, I want this Submariner, this watch for, I'll trade my Pepsi for a Submariner and this watch. I don't know what they traded for. It might have been a watch for his wife that had pink dial, the salmon dial, whatever. I'm just saying, I know what you're saying. 30% is a lot, because we didn't have a consignment fee.
Almost like
agreement
an auction
on the percentage.
If you didn't have a consignment fee, then that's not a contract. I mean,
well, the contract was I'm happy with selling it for. I want to get this much out of it.
You basically said, if I can get here's the watch. If you can sell it for 4,000, everything above that's yours. No,
I said I want 3,500 for it.
Okay. And if you can make anything, and they sold it for 5, and they were like,
and they put it on for 5. I was shocked they put it on for 5. I was kind of like, is this thing gonna sell? And then it sold, and I was like,
so okay. you underestimated what it might sell for, basically.
Yeah. I mean,
but you're happy with it.
It only takes one, though. I was lucky. Yeah. It only takes one. There's been one on the same site at the same place for 7 months now, and hasn't sold at 500 less than what mine was.
Because it's all about the YouTube videos. If there's a YouTuber making a video about a particular watch, then people who watch the video, they're gonna start searching. For example, I'm hoping to make a video about this Ming some fucking day. I mean, god damn it, it's taking long. It's taking a long time. But I'll make a video about this thing, and then I'll put it for sale for like 10.
Tim, how much was that?
Huh?
How much was that?
2.
How much was that?
2,000.
Okay. Yeah. Now they're up to 3,200 to get a Ming, right? For this year's model, if somebody wants it.
Yeah.
So that's going to retain its value just on that fact that they're moving it up a little bit.
But if I make some high quality videos about this, I'm gonna.
That's why they do that a little
sell it for 10. I'm hoping to get 10 for it. I'm a delusional fantasy. Oh, I'll trade it. I'll trade this for 70 to 200 f2.8 Canon RF lens. If anybody's interested, call me. Diego, $10 super chat. Man, this Ming topic is fucking poison for super chats. Poison. I feel sick. Great panel. What's your one watch you're chasing and hoping to get by the end of 2022? Man, you know me. Code 1159 would be my dream. But let's go around the panel.
I'm not really chasing, or I'm actually not even hoping for anything. I almost dread the calls these days because I dread some of the calls because they want you to buy them.
Yes.
And but Platinum Daytona.
When market was going up, OC couldn't wait to get the phone call. When market is fucking going down, he's like, don't call me, please.
Please don't call me.
That's the thing with the call. You want them to call you when the market's gone back up. Right, because you're like, all right, I know this.
And you have to reward them for loyalty when the times are tough, right? So, but I'd like to reward them with loyalty on a $5,000 watch, not a $30,000 watch. I'm not going to buy a Yachtmaster 42 on Oyster Flex for $30,000 that I don't want. I'll buy a $4,000 watch or a $6,000 Cartier or whatever, but. And that way they'll remember, like, hey, when times were tough, You know, we were struggling to sell watches.
That's
you
when I
know,
bought. Yeah.
that's when I bought.
See,
Yeah, I mean,
OC never forgets. OC
even with
never
Rolex,
forgets.
I'm very careful of what I buy. I never buy anything below 36. I never buy any Datejust that don't have a cool dial. I never buy Yachtmaster 2s because they're hideous. You know, like there's certain things that, like, there's a lot of day dates that have terrible configurations. I wouldn't buy those. So you have to be careful. But
yeah, well, these models are becoming more and more available. By the day I was reading a post today, the guy bought a Datejust, a blue Datejust, and a blue Milgauss. So, you know, same day. I mean, they're just and now they're starting to put the watches back into the cases. I read that when the Datejust, you know, the Datejust aren't selling, then they're starting to go into the cases now, and people are elated. They're seeing a Datejust in the case, they're snapping it up. So they're selling them, everyone that they can, but they're not just the people to whom they're offering them aren't buying them anymore.
Yeah.
And congrats, Mr. Tudor, to you. Glad to see you on the Rolex train.
Yeah,
should be called the Mr. Rolex to you now. And
right now, I would deny anything that's a Datejust that's a weird configuration. So you don't want a fluted bezel and if it's not fluted bezel and Jubilee, or Jubilee and smooth bezel, or fluted bezel and, you know, the standard bracelet, I'd be skipping on those because they're dime a dozen on the gray market. They're going to be coming. And you think that you're buying farther down the line, but you're not, unless you're buying like a stainless steel sports model. You're safe there, but these other ones, like, they were never above retail. They were.
This is an interesting time for the ADs. ADs really want to know who are the loyal, who are the customers who are going to be there for them through thick and thin, right? Not just scooping up.
It's going to be the flippers.
I tell you what, they're not calling me. They're not calling me. George Wargies, my Grail market friend, my Gray market friend has a 1021 white gold minty sub. The 21, that's the blueberry, right? It's not the Smurf, right?
Correct.
Boxing
at most,
papers.
what was that? 5K over maybe at the height.
No, it was more. It was more. Actually, all things considered, that's such a solid watch. Just a solid Submariner. Fuck.
It's the Cookie Monster, right?
Yeah, probably as good as a Submariner gets, because it looks steel. It's got that premium feel of.
It's like a day.
Yeah, it's so good, and that a little bit of blue is just perfect. So subtle.
So that's basically free sales tax, because I think that model's retail is right around $39,750 or somewhere right there. So basically,
you're saving buy history though.
You're saving $4,000 in taxes if you buy it. It's a year old, but
you get no buy history with the AD, right? So that's you gotta keep that in mind. 40,000, like right now, that would be a favor, right? You got to look at from the AD's perspective. You're doing them a favor to pick up a Datejust. You're doing them a favor to pick a day date right now. You're doing them a $40,000 favor the other way. They're going to think of you down the line if you do that, right? I mean, you have to plan for it, but yeah. Well, they have to sell or they don't get more from Rolex, so they're going to be under the gun.
Hey Nick, what about you? Is there anything you're hoping to get by the end of the 2021? Is it this Ming? Because that's coming. Sorry, by the end of 2022. Is it the Ming or...
I mean, I'm welcome to suggestions, but honestly, with a sub and a speedy, my collection's got to grow. I'm currently looking both at dress watches and I guess some split, so like a Grand Seiko or this Ming. But
yes,
I think the Ming right now is the one I'd want to put the deposit down on. I'm eyeing the Snowflake. I also really want second gen Langa Saxonia with the micro rotor, the Saxomat, and then a Vacheron Traditionnel silver dial with guilloche is also on my list. So long ways to go. I'd like to get the bonus in to pay off for those watches first, though.
I'm dropping the link for someone
We're talking about.
someone special.
Oh, I just wanted to answer the super chat there because super chats are awesome. The pieces I'm looking for the Falcon Eye Yachtmaster.
Ooh.
I'm looking for the Meteorite Daytona. I'm looking for the Platinum with the ice blue dial day date.
Nice.
And the Meteorite GMT.
Whew, that's it's quite a list there. Heavy hitting stuff. Heavy hitting stuff.
I'd be happy with any of those.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm not.
Yeah.
But you know, we'll see.
Gotta tell you. Okay, you know what? Let's check David SW to see what is what's selling right now. What are people trying to get rid of, and what could be a good suggestion? Let's see here. Ooh, look at this. A blue snowflake for 5,000. And ooh, look at this. This is actually Seamaster 300 on the rubber. That's above retail. Seamaster. Interesting. It's probably because it's fresh from the factory. Let's take a look at this Grand Seiko right here. Look at that. A blue snowflake. That's spring drive on the leather strap, unfortunately. So it's not with the titanium bracelet. 5,000. It's a lot of money. What do you think about that for Nick to add to the? He said he
It's a
wants to
great
dress
price.
one.
It's a great price, that's for
Yeah.
sure.
Well, probably would. You could probably ask for more discount, right? You can ask for
Yeah.
more.
What I would say is for Nick, if you can get an AD that has multiple of those brands and you can start building a relationship, it's worth
Paul.
getting in there, you know.
Hey Tim, how you doing?
Hey, welcome to the show. I didn't think that was real Paul Thorpe.
It was. Hey,
It's
how you
like
doing?
your second account?
Bondage.
Interesting.
OC, how you doing?
Doing good, Paul. Thanks for joining us.
Hey.
Good. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, we
Hear you
can.
perfectly.
Sure.
Oh, that's good. I've had trouble with me equipment lately. I have trouble with a lot of my equipment.
It's just...
What do you make of the latest Ming, Mr. Thorpe?
The latest what? Sorry.
The latest
exactly.
Ming.
Exactly.
Sorry. Show me.
Ming just announced a new release. Not this one.
Never seen one in my hand. Never seen one.
Yeah,
That looks kind of nice.
Yeah. That.
Unusual.
But
how much is it?
There's a catch.
Go on.
Okay. Is that you have to make a 50% deposit, which is 1,600 Swiss francs, and then 1 year later in 2023, they'll email you with a give you a 2-week notice, and basically you're gonna have to make that purchase within that 2 weeks. You're gonna have to send the other half of the money to pick it to basically.
How much is it? How much is it?
It's gonna be about 4,000 US, I think, because let's see, in Swiss francs they're saying
3,200.
32.
And you're not opposed to that on principle. That's something you've advocated for Rolex authorized dealers, right, Paul? You know that if you were able to make a firm order and leave a deposit or pay in full, then it would at least guarantee you a watch at some point in the future.
Yeah, we guarantee the watch and get rid of some of the flippers.
Yeah,
exactly. By the way, I've recently I placed an order for one of these Mings last year, so actually I have one right here. But this is the 4th anniversary edition, and this would the one we're talking about is gonna be the 5th year anniversary. So you can see that. It's
This
actually
one
kind of interesting.
This one's a tad plain compared to the one they're coming out with.
Yeah, they were still working on different technology. Obviously, this one's closed case back. You can't see the movement. Not that there's anything impressive to see, but also the dial on this one. What's interesting about this one is that the lume is printed on the back of the sapphire crystal, so it kind of floats above the dial. Very interesting watch, but nothing too impressive.
So Tim, you can probably guess why I'm here tonight. Do you know
I
why I'm
have
here?
no idea, but I could probably. There's probably a one or two guesses that I could.
Yeah,
I could
you can
try.
have a guess. Listen, guys, I'm not going to stay for long and spoil your show, but I've got to like have my say about a couple of things that I've seen. I actually haven't been watching. To be honest, I haven't been watching a lot of YouTube. I've been really busy myself.
Mhm.
But people send me little clips, and there's a couple of clips from your show that I've been sent the last couple of days, and I just got to put the record straight because
Okay.
look, I don't want to talk about anyone particularly. It's not my style. I don't really want to be talking about other people on my channel, and I've made the decision not to talk about any of this bullshit on my channel. I'm staying clear of it.
Mhm.
But I've just been sent a clip of what O'Sheen had to say last night on your channel, and I've got to
Okay.
tell the world, right? The guy is full of shit.
Interesting.
Right, the guy's full of shit. Now he states that he was on the inside, he was our mate, blah blah blah. No. Let's get one thing right. O'Sheen was allowed in, just like you was, Tim.
Mhm.
But O'Sheen heard what we wanted him to hear.
Mhm.
Okay, that's the first thing. Let's get the record straight. He only ever heard what we wanted him to hear. The second thing is, and I've just sent him a WhatsApp.
Mhm.
Okay, I'll put it up there if you can see it, because I don't want to tell you
Oh
that
yeah,
I'm.
it's gotta be.
Can you see it?
Uh,
Well, I'll read
it's
it to you.
hard. Yeah.
It says, mate, if you're going to talk about me, please get it right. Firstly, the reason I didn't speak about the London Watch Show robbery was
Mhm.
because Jonathan, the victim, asked me not to.
Oh, okay.
There was a
Interesting.
police investigation. That's the first thing. The second thing is Jonathan wanted to get paid from his insurance company, rightly
Yes.
so. And he felt that any talk about the incident would not be helpful to the police or to his claim on his insurance.
Interesting.
So for O'Sheen to say that I didn't speak about that quote was despicable. Right. Well, it just displays how little O'Sheen knows about what goes on in the watch business. Okay.
Very interesting.
O'Sheen knows nothing because he knows nobody.
Hmm.
So I didn't speak about the London Watch Show robbery because I wanted Jonathan to get paid out from the insurance. I wanted
Right.
the police investigation to go ahead properly. And Jonathan himself, the victim, specifically asked me and everyone else not to speak about it.
Interesting.
Okay, so just let's get it clear. So the second part of my text to O'Sheen, I'll read it again. Firstly, the reason I didn't speak about the London Watch Show robbery is because Jonathan from Edinburgh Watch Company asked me not to. Secondly, I was never paid, nor did I ever ask for any payment from the London Watch Show organisers. So for him to say that I kept my mouth shut because I was waiting for a payment from the London Watch Show,
oh, interesting.
okay, is bullshit. It's complete lies. O'Sheen has blown every ounce of his credibility. Okay, he's blown every ounce of his credibility with anyone that matters. That's the bottom line. And he now, like he said last night, he doesn't give a shit anymore. He'll say anything, and he is on a payback mission. But if he's going to try and pay us back, he needs to get it right, because if he's going to lie, I will continually come on and call him out on it. I've texted him. He never answers me. He won't let me on his channel. He won't speak to me.
Yeah.
And you know why he won't speak to me? Because he hasn't got the bollocks to do so. End of story.
Wow.
And as far and Red Shovel, what Red Shovel said about Spencer during a private conversation, that it's no biggie, but it's wrong. You have a private conversation with someone, it should remain private.
Red Shovel said that Spencer is a gentleman, or was there something additional?
What he said about the London Watch Show. Look, let me set the record with the London Watch Show, because again, Usheen is talking about something that he doesn't know anything about. The reason that I'm not attending the London Watch Show this year, there are two reasons. One is I wasn't happy with what happened last time around.
Right.
Everyone knows that. Charlie knows that.
Yeah, it was a big fight up there.
But I'm away on holiday. But then when Usheen says to the world that he shook Charlie by the hand and he knows a villain when he sees one, he doesn't know Charlie. He doesn't. He's met the guy once.
How do you know? How do you know Charlie, Paul?
I know Charlie. I've known Charlie for a long time. I know him well. Look,
okay.
I will say this. I think Charlie got things wrong. I think Charlie will be the first to admit that he got things wrong, and he's doing his best to put it right. And he is not a villain.
Okay.
And she needs to be very careful about some of the accusations that he's throwing out there.
Okay. Interesting.
Because this is legal stuff. You can't accuse people of being paid for something they're not being paid for. You can't accuse people of being despicable because I didn't speak about a robbery that I was asked not to speak about.
So just to clarify, you weren't paid by
no, not a penny,
by the London Watch Show. Wow,
not a penny.
Interesting. So
it was offered. Let me get the record straight, and you can ask Charlie. I was offered.
Okay.
And I refused.
Wow.
I did what I do for the London Watch Show out of the kindness of my heart in support of the watch community. I didn't receive.
I think Paul is right.
For a penny.
I think Paul is right in terms of how he presents himself and how he conducts himself with representing the community, etc. And Oisin's got his right of his opinion, but I think Oisin's laid back very, very calculatively and just throwing bullets everywhere. He needs to calm down a little bit in how he presents himself and what he says, because there are ramifications to what he says. And Paul's actually based in the UK and he's live there and he's feeling everything. So he really is representing what happens there. But Oisin has got his, if you like, vendetta against, if you like, the UK guys, because you kind of took the other fella's side. But whether that's your opinion. But Oisin's just got to calm down, I think, on how he presents himself, because it could get him into further trouble with the words that come out of his mouth.
I think, George, thank you for that. I think the thing is, George, is what I've learned is that when you're speaking in public, lying is dangerous.
Yeah, right.
And Oisin is becoming a habitual liar and an exaggerator. And it saddens me to say that because, you know what? Deep in my heart, I kind of like the guy, but he's got to stop bullshitting people, trying to tar people with a brush that doesn't exist. I can prove that London Watch Show never paid me a penny.
Right.
Okay? I've just told you the very good reason why I never spoke about the London Watch Show issue.
Yes.
There is no better reason than the actual victim saying, please, Paul, I preferred you didn't. Jonathan is a very, very close and very dear friend of mine.
Yes.
And when he requested that I didn't speak about the robbery, what I adhered to that.
Right.
And so should everyone else. In fact, if you go back, anyone that has seen the videos, if you go back, I said on numerous occasions, look, I'd love to speak about it, but Jonathan's asked me not to.
I think you even took your video down at the time, didn't you?
Exactly.
I don't know. I think Oisin's just got to calm down, chill out, and be careful how he shouldn't always say what he thinks, because it could get him into bigger trouble. Because at the end of the day, you can't go out and then put the narratives out there that he does. He is very good at what he does. As OC said yesterday, politically, he could represent Ireland and do well. But you've got to be careful because the watch community is very small and it has ramifications. And when you've got a fella like Fulpy that's actually in the UK, trying to hold it down, trying to be as transparent as possible for robberies, for everything, you just got to respect that and know when to speak and when not to speak. And he just hasn't got it at the moment. But he probably feels a little bit hurt from maybe you taking the Irish fella's side, which is, I don't really care about that. And he obviously wants to vent out, but you've got to be careful. And Oisin, if you're listening, you need to calm down a little bit. I like you. I think you make great content, but just be careful of what you say because it does have ramifications.
George, as far as, sorry, Tim, George, as far as taking anyone's side where that issue was concerned, look, I didn't really want to take anyone's side, but ultimately I had to take the side of the guy that was owed the money.
Yeah, I understand that. That's your prerogative, Paul. You made that decision, and you made a calculated decision that this is how I feel. These are my ethics. This is what I believe in, and this is the road that I'm going to go down. That's your prerogative. It's not right. It's wrong. It's your decision. But he can't bastardize your decision and then come across and throw these bullets. You know, at the end of the day, I see how Oisin works. He wants to throw these little pellets.
Yeah, George, I appreciate your comments. Oisin knows exactly what he's doing. He took an inside baseball issue, which very few people know anything about. No one really cares about the London Watch Show or what happened there. And he mentioned something that he knew would get under your skin, Paul, right? And here you are responding to it. You're not you're taking the bait, but what he laid out there was specifically designed, to call you out.
Well, look, I mean, it is interesting. It is a kind of a question that I think should be addressed. Is there a possibility, Paul, that I mean, now that Jonathan has been paid, the insurance has covered everything. Is there a possibility that we'll get the full story of what happened, or was there a decision made to not?
Tim, do you know something? I've spoke to Charlie on a couple of occasions since the show, which was, when was it? Was it September? When was the last London Watch show?
Oh, I mean, I think it was in March, May, April, May. I think it was May.
Anyway,
the last one was September.
Yeah,
but there's going to be another one this September.
Anyway, whenever it was, I've spoken to the organisers, Charlie, a couple of times since. I've only spoken to Jonathan probably 3 or 4 times since, because Jonathan has been away. He's been really, really busy. Jonathan and I have actually had a video to do for weeks and weeks and weeks, and we just haven't been able to tie it down in our schedule.
Yeah.
I spoke to him via WhatsApp earlier on this evening on something completely unrelated. Look, I will tell you exactly what I know about what happened at the London Watch Show. It was a very, very unfortunate incident.
Yes.
Nobody has any idea of what happened to those watches. Haven't got a clue. At first, we thought maybe it was a security guard, but then that seemed really unlikely. Nobody knows. If anyone knew, it would get around the watch world like wildfire in 30 seconds.
Yes.
So I know absolutely. There's nothing that I know about what happened that you guys don't, or that anyone else. You couldn't hide it. If something was out there, trust me, it would get out.
Is it possible to get your hands on like some kind of a police report, investigation? Is there anything that's available?
Do you know what, Tim? Do you know what? Honestly, look, Jonathan's been paid. That's the main thing. Jonathan's been paid. Charlie's got another show coming up.
Yes.
I think everyone, including Jonathan himself, and this is the main thing. I go back to Jonathan because he is the one that's most important here. Yeah. I spoke to Jonathan about it, and he just said, "Paul, I just want to move on."
Interesting.
You know, so like because this shit happens. This is the thing, Tim. This shit happens in the watch world. I said after the London Watch Show that, you know what, the Munich show, this happens every time.
Every time.
Every single time. It's not like what happened at the London Watch Show was some major shock to everyone that it's never been seen before. I mean, it's just a regular everyday occurrence in the life of a watch dealer.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'm saying is that, look, there are 150 watch show robberies that I could go report on over the last 10 years. I've got other things to do. It's gone. It's done. It's over.
Is there anything we can learn from Jonathan?
Yeah, I'll tell you what you can learn. What I've been telling you guys for the last 3 years: the watch business is dangerous.
Yeah,
that's what everyone can learn from it. So, you know, look, Jonathan's paid. He's okay, thank God. Charlie, I wish him luck. I've got no bad feelings towards Charlie at all, but actually, neither has Spencer. I mean, what Red said was like not entirely accurate. Spencer's problem is not necessarily with Charlie or the London Watch Show. It's with the insurance process. It's just too much aggro for him these days. You got to remember that Spencer, I don't know, I'm taking a guess, but I reckon Spencer's inventory at the London Watch Show must have been like 3 million, 4 million quid's worth.
Yes.
You know, £4 million worth, sort of, what's that, $5 million? I mean, that's a lot of stock to move around.
Yes. Very dangerous.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I have a question about that. Let me just read these 2 super chats. God knows it's been bad lately. Graham R$5, lads. All this drama will end badly. It's getting personal and toxic now. I know it's good for viewers, but egos and money involved will turn ugly. I think it's
Graham, nothing with me, literally,
Yeah.
trust me when I tell you, nothing with me is personal.
Yeah.
I have no problem with Oisin. All I'm asking him to do is just tell the truth and stop bullshitting.
And Neo $2, London Watch Show equals boring. Thank you, Neo. Hello, humanity. Paul, because actually, so part of what the Red Shovel said is that Spencer is looking to, as he is relocating, he's looking to get a new premises that's he said that will be about 5 times the size of the previous one, the one that we've seen in the movie, and that he's hoping to do maybe a monthly show at the new location, and these shows would be very similar to the event he had at the Augusta.
We're talking about Spencer here, obviously.
Spencer here,
do you know
yeah.
Listen, I love Spencer. He is just such a, honestly, but the one thing with Spencer is, honestly, and he'd be the first to admit it, sometimes he thinks out loud too much. You know, he's like, I think we'll do this. You know what? We're gonna do that, and we'll do this, and like, Spence, settle down a minute, mate. One thing at a time. You know, look, we've had 3 things. Spencer and I have had 3 things lined up to do this week. Do you know how many of them we've got round to doing? None. Yeah. You know, because he gets tied up with something else. Then we've got another date, and that clashes with something
very
else.
Excited, yeah.
Listen, bless him. Like, honestly, he's one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet in the world. But you know, when he speaks, it's like you have to take it. He's overly straight with people. He just says what's on his mind. Sometimes it's a good thing. Sometimes people take it and like go, okay, he said that. That's it, written in stone. When actually all he was doing was thinking out loud.
Okay, so it was more of a brainstorming. Than...
that's the word. Brainstorm. Yeah. He brainstorms out loud. Yeah.
No, it's a great idea. It's an amazing idea. I can't deny it. You know, if he were to get a space like that space at the Augusta, because that event was amazing. Okay, I thought that was the best experience that I've had in the watch community, to be able to come to, you know, grab a drink, maybe a couple snacks, sit on the couch, talk to other collectors. It is something that I thought was truly incredible. And if he got a premises of his own, it could, you know, he could save a lot of money by not having to, you know, carry all that stuff.
I think the thing is with shows in general, let's forget the London Watch Show, but I think that in general, watch shows around the world. I mean, I was at the Miami Watch Show earlier this year. I was at the Las Vegas Watch Show earlier this year. Same problems, same issues, insurance, moving valuable stock. There's been a massive heist in LA, I think, this week.
I reported on that yesterday. Yeah, $100 million heist, and the issue is that, I mean, these trade shows are fraught with risk anyway. But in a declining market where you have so many amateur dealers in financial trouble, it increases not only the legitimate robberies but also the insurance fraud type robberies and the inside jobs are increasing. So you're getting the legitimate criminals, if that's an actual term, and the inside jobs accelerating at the same time.
Yeah.
Tim S
Yeah.
$5 super chat. Paul, did I hear you say that robbery like this is common occurrence at the watch shows?
At every watch show, I've never ever been to a watch show apart from the first London show
Mhm.
where something didn't happen.
I can actually corroborate that because I spoke with Federico Talks Watches, the Delray WatchSupply.com, and I was asking him whether he will be in Miami on that week when we met up, Paul, and he said, "Hell no!" He said, "Hell no! I don't want my watches to be stolen because it happens every single time." And yeah, luckily, I think nothing happened during the Miami that time. But and also, I don't think nothing happened in Vegas when we were in Vegas, right? At the
Well,
WJG, or was there something?
you don't get to hear about it. It doesn't always
Right.
happen at the show, Tim. It's like
Mm.
more often than not, it's outside or in a
Mhm.
room, or there's something goes down every
Mm.
time. Something goes down, even if it's only somebody buys a watch and it turned out to be stolen, or someone tried to switch a watch with a counterfeit. Something always goes down. Look,
just finishing up the
Something goes
chicken.
wrong.
if you put billions of dollars worth of goods in one room,
Mhm.
it's going to attract some flies.
Yes. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Heat World Red Truffle is drama queen, and he doesn't know how to operate without drama. He's his trouble. That incident at Harrods says it all. Red Shovel. You know what? Red Shovel's problem
Red
is
Shuffle.
that
Red Shuffle.
Red Shuffle. Red
Red
Shuffle.
Shuffle.
Look, I mean, he's a really fun guy. I don't think he does anything out of malice. He does like to get a couple of drinks and then have fun in the watch community and then see what happens. You know what? I think he had a lot of fun at the Brighton watch show. Was it a was it a watch show? Can you tell us
No.
about what happened?
No,
Everything
no,
okay?
it was just to get
Just
together.
to get together. Yeah.
And it was just as a thank you to anyone that wanted to come down for supporting the channels.
Yes.
The boys that showed up, Spencer and I made sure they were fed and watered properly on us, and we had a good night.
Excellent. And is Spencer planning any kind of event in the upcoming months?
Not that I know of.
Not that you know, because there will be. I know that there will be a London watch show. This time a much smaller one. Almost seems like an in between show, and that one is going to be held like in the park in London.
I'm not sure. I know they've got another one on. I haven't spoken to Charlie for a couple of weeks, and we had a brief telephone conversation. But I'm not going to be involved in this year's show for two reasons. One is that I thought the last show things could have been better.
Yes.
But the biggest reason is I am away. I can't be on holiday with my family and at a show.
Yes. Look, Red Shovel, he's a sweetheart. Come on, guys. Does he get in trouble? Yes, but I don't think he means any harm. Come on, guys. Why is Sheen not well? I don't think he knew, and I'm not sure if he's interested in talking about this. But we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. I'm gonna talk to him. We'll see what happens. But
my message for Asheen is really simple. Asheen, I'm not your enemy. I was your friend. I have no ill feeling towards you whatsoever.
yes,
But you've got to stop lying because it's not doing you any favors. And the problem is that everyone that really knows, and he's just making himself look stupid to the people that do know.
Yeah, Red Shovel said that at the Brighton Watch show, not a lot of Asheen fans there.
The chat was pretty. The chat was a little brutal last night on Oshin. They were really handing it to him hard.
Yeah, a little bit brutal, but look, the chat is always brutal. You know, the chat is always
What's it?
brutal.
Can you get this up? Good to see you.
Good. I'm not. Oh, okay. What could have been better about the London Watch Show? Paul is talking around the issue, and how does he know Charlie better than the Sheen? How long has he known? I'll tell you this. Well, for one thing, the food could have been a lot better. But please.
I mean, like, what issue am I talking around? I never talk about any issues. And how do I know Charlie better than Sheen? Well, I've known Charlie for about 5 years. I think Sheen's met Charlie once.
Okay. I mean, what do you think could have been done better at the London Watch Show this time?
What, the last one?
Mhm.
The one where there was the issue?
Mhm. Yeah.
Well, obviously there were mistakes around the security. That
Right.
goes without saying. Charlie knows that. What else could have been better? The food, like you said, I wasn't overly impressed with the food. Yeah.
Spring rolls next time. Spring rolls and chicken satay. It's this magic formula.
I honestly don't really know. I mean, I thought it was pretty good. It was just spoilt by one bad incident that spoilt the weekend for everyone, really.
I thought they could have had maybe more speakers this time. Last time, they had so many people coming in. They had the Watch Gringa, they had Adrian there, they had Watch Eric, Roman came. It was a big almost there was a lot of meet and greet. There was a lot of things to do besides just looking at watches. Which is this time we had Archie, but besides that was pretty much and you, Paul, but it was pretty much there's not much to do. And the tickets, I
Tim,
think, were more
you know when I said to you before about one of the reasons I don't come on your show anymore is some of the fucking arseholes you have in your comments, right? I mean, like, look at some
Paul,
of the shit that
that's
comes
part of
in
the
there.
joke.
You're the only
It's
person
the
who
joke, man. That's part
You're
of
the only person. You
Don't you get a
and,
laugh? Don't
and
you
Mike
get a
the Snake
laugh
are the
out of
only
it? It's
people who
so
read the
funny.
comments and says,
I am laughing. I'm laughing at what some of these people say
stuff.
because, like, if they believe what they're reading, they're dangerous. I hope they haven't got children.
I'm now encouraging the audience to be twice as vicious and brutal on you.
Okay, do that.
For acknowledging them.
Full bin Colossus. Why did Paul describe himself as a retired watch dealer when he is still doing deals? What deal's that? Let me know. I'd love to know.
I knew something was off with the Sheehan, with how he handled Speedygate.
What's Speedygate?
Yeah, I don't remember. He had the sharp bracelet.
I think that was yeah.
Guys, we got to
Mark the Shark. How much do I need to super chat to ensure Timmy never says "aw" again? I need a number with my budget. It's embarrassing. Aw.
Guys, we got to show Sheen a little bit more respect because he's been to space with a Speedmaster. Did you see that video?
That was a pretty interesting collab. DC Swiss. At the end of the day, I don't know any of these geezers, and I am not stupid enough to think I do via YouTube videos. With that being said, she does come across shady, and Paul comes across as a top man. Speaking of top men, Neo, $10. Paul, bottom line is this: we just don't like you as a person. It's personal. It's not about the business. You understand?
I don't mind that. that I don't mind. That, listen, honestly, Tim, you know what? That I honestly don't mind.
Oh God, I love it. This is what I'm
it's a
talking
$10 super chat.
Yeah,
take it.
Thank you, Neo. Low humanity, trading profits. £1.79. Or keep reading chat insults. You will get addicted.
Honestly, do you know what? Honestly, you guys are right. I shouldn't fault. Well, I don't think I am fault. Look, do you know what it is? I've never been able to suffer fools gladly, and there are some fools around.
Yes. It's the
Now
comedy.
now you're calling Tim's audience fools, Paul.
Yeah.
See what happened in
No,
6
no,
months?
no, not all of them. You just take a look. Just take a look in the comments there. And look, mate, I was brought up to call it for what it is, and some of these people that are writing some of this stuff, they just need to. Well, I don't know. Just need to do
I
something
will say,
else.
Paul, that the requests to have Tim ban people in the chat, that's you can understand how the chat is a big part of the entertainment value of the show. We can never do that. Everyone is welcome.
I will say though, OC, I don't think that other people's entertainment is. How can I put it? There's a limit, isn't there? Right? Is at the end of the day, entertainment is one thing, but lies and outright abuse, I don't think that's entertainment.
That I don't. There's very, very little of that, of real hostility and real. I mean, most of it is there for fun and to get a rise out of you, rise out of me and Tim and everybody. Everybody's fair game.
Right. And I'd like to add to that. I think over the last 10 days, the watch content that Tim's put out, especially today and yesterday, has been really, really good. There hasn't been any drama, and it's been mostly facts about Ming, facts about. It was really good to get back to basics.
Only the last 2 days.
Well, the last 3 days have been intense watches, I'd say. I mean, I really enjoyed it. There's no drama, and he's been on par. He's been focused, bashing out watch content. So
let's be honest, the all the watch talk, it killed the super chats. Okay, we can't deny that.
But you're building an audience, bro, and their super chats will come.
We need scandals. We need another scandal.
Them, they will come. And look, I mean, at the end of the day, exactly right. I'm in the early stages, right? I'm just trying to build the channel, and Paul, like, there's only so many watches that we could talk about.
Yeah, I know, absolutely. Right? Tell me about it, mate. Listen, creating content is tough.
It's hard.
Can I just answer that one? Boston Collector.
Yes. Let's see here. Oh wait, we got a Marcelo time £1.79 super chat. Red Shovel has loose lips, just like my wife. Thank you, Marcelo. Jesus Christ. Boston Collected, Tim, I think something that Paul could do is be a little more transparent on whom he is paid by and doing business with, who he is not. People feel confused by the timepiece gentleman, a sheen, etc. Please clarify.
Happy to answer that, Boston Collector. I'm not quite sure entirely what I mean. Look, who pays me? Okay, so Google pay me just like you do.
The Googles, yes.
Google pays us. My trusted dealers pay me, but they don't pay me. Nobody can pay me to become a trusted dealer. They're invited, and I tell them how much it's going to cost, because that's how I make my money on YouTube. So all of my dealers are trusted first. They pay second. I actually promoted a dealer last night whose contract with me has come to an end. He's still a trusted dealer. Who else do I don't do any business deals with anyone in the watch business these days, because I'm not dealing. The last watch that I sold, I could have made a $5,000 profit on, and I sold it for exactly what I paid for it.
And there are a few watch companies and product placements that you've accepted sponsorship for.
Watch companies, what?
Zero West.
Zero West. Yeah. That's it. Clothing companies. I've got a little bit going on with some clothing companies, but nothing that would, set the world alight, or I wouldn't want anyone to know about.
Okay. You got a little bit of merch there. By the way, would you like to send me some art to put around the mug? I am looking to do some collabs.
You had to bring up the art.
Well, listen, I mean, we have Paul here. I figured, I might as well ask if you got any art.
Sure, ask me anything you want to ask me about.
If you got any art to send me to put on the mug,
I would love to do more with that. Yeah, but you know what? For the money that it brought in, it's just
too much headache.
Hassle. It's hassle.
The hassle. Yes.
And I'm just about to go. It's late where I am, but I just wanted to say, Paul, it's a really good idea if you do some. I think because of the way you're built and the way you run your content, I think you and Tim one has the American side and the other has the UK. It'd be good to do sessions together in terms of, content together, because at the end of the day, you've been through a rough patch with Tim where you were a bit pissed off, but you found common ground and you're here whenever you want. I think you guys would make the odd session together really good for content for both your channels.
Of course.
Yeah, look,
More regularly.
I've said it before. Look, Tim, I can't help but like you. Well, and we all make mistakes, right?
Yeah.
Like nobody's perfect, mate. So
Yeah.
I've got nothing, and I've got no problem with you, Tim.
Yeah, no, I have no problem with you either. I told you since the beginning. I'm just trying to have fun and entertain, watch people. Sometimes it gets a little bit dicey, but I think that's what my audience likes. And you have a much more professional show and much more professional YouTube channel. Oshin's got his shtick. Everybody got their own way of doing show, and I think, you know what, this is real people, right? I think what people get here is that they see that these are real people with real issues, real problems, with real advantages and disadvantages, and it's just how the world works. Nothing is scripted. We're not paid actors. It's hard. Everybody makes mistakes. Everybody is human at the end of the day. Speaking of non-humans, Dirk Diggler, $5 super chat. This is a professional troll. Paul, don't be so sensitive. Go get a spray tan,
I've already
the
had
teeth
that.
whitened, and buy some more Burberry.
Well, how can I do that? They sent you the super chat.
Dirk, thank you, Dirk. And we got Neo, $2. Do you like your pal producer Mike selling Alibaba? Ooh, interesting.
Can we get you now, Paul? I know producer Michael's a friend, but
Yeah.
I do have to. I've been very critical. His website is full of absolute garbage. I mean, come on, pushing those fake Richard Mills. Those.
Do you want
Paul,
to
please.
honestly know?
No,
I
you're gonna
haven't
honest.
looked.
You're honest. You don't know what he's selling
looked.
on his website.
I have honestly. I haven't looked. I'm aware. I've seen the homepage.
Yes.
And I haven't looked.
It's absolutely embarrassing. I mean, he's selling fake Richard Mille clones for $4,000 and passing them off as affordable luxury to his audience. It's really distasteful. It tarnishes his brand, whatever there was of it, and it's truly embarrassing. I mean, you should take a look at it. I know he's your friend. I'm sure he's a very nice guy, but for him to take advantage of his audience by saying, "Hey, you can get the look of an expensive watch by buying this garbage," it's really, really unflattering for him. Take a look at it, and if you disagree, feel free to come on and call me out on it.
Yeah. I mean, I would say, look, I haven't looked, and that's the honest truth. I don't have time. I don't look around people's websites for watches. I'm not interested,
Ron the Shrink, $5. Thorpe, what watch did you wear during German bombing of London?
He was only 2 at the time.
Yeah, I was 12 actually.
Guys, good night. Thank you for having me. Take care.
Nice. Cheers, mate. See you later.
Okay, we are wrapping up. It's a bit of an interesting show there. Interesting show with the surprise guest. Surprise guest, guys. I was surprised, just like the rest of you. By the way, if anybody has any final questions for Mr. Thorpe, send them now before I shut it down in 1 minute. There we go. We got the Ming. Man, the Ming was toxic. Paul, do not buy Ming. And that Nick guy, don't do it. It's toxic. It's toxic for watch communities.
I'm reading all the nice comments. There's a lot of nice comments from some nice people.
Yeah, it's mixed. Well. It's mixed. That's why I really like this chat.
This audience.
It's very entertaining. Yeah. It's very entertaining. Some people, you know what, Paul? Most people who come to watch this show, they don't even care what the hell we're talking about here. They're just there for the chat. They're just there for the chat. Guys, hit the upvote button before you leave, and I'll see you on the after show.